Welcome back. Today we are checking out the news for Update 6 and it coming very soon to early access. Which means that all of you who have been waiting for Update 6 to go to early access will have access to the Spire Coast, as well as all the changes that brings, some of which we're going to be talking about today. And with Update 6's release to early access, I will also be releasing this save to everyone who would like to download it. You'll also have access to my core generator's start save. And for those of you who want something a little bit more advanced, we actually have a world train station save that I'm working on currently, which will start you off with the 8 core generators as well as a train network that travels around the whole world. And as you can see here, it's right-hand drive. So if you do want to check out these saves, make sure to subscribe and join our community. I will be putting links on Twitter and Discord about the release of these when they're ready for the 20th. But with that all said, let's jump over to the video itself and talk about the new changes. Now, for those of you who don't know, Update 6 is a relatively minor update, though that might not seem the case based on the size of the map changes. So we have the Spire Coast now, the top of the dune cliffs, as well as the swamplands. And with that, we've also seen a lot of new variations to species, as well as the new egg fly hatcher thing. These are all welcome changes, but the thing is, the team has been working towards getting 1.0 out. And the plan was to get Satisfactory out to 1.0 in 2022. Ow! I'm not sure that's happening. This does, however, point out that 1.0 could be released in 2023, even though we are still waiting on SAM-OR and what that may provide us. And to be honest, it absolutely makes sense that they save this kind of stuff for 1.0. They want to hype it up for its full release. And you're probably wondering, if it's such a small update, then why is it taken so long for it to come out from experimental to early access? Well, first, they did have their holiday, but they've also been struggling with some bugs, which has taken them longer than they expected it to be. That's why they've pushed it back from what was going to be the 13th to release it to early access to the 20th. That being said, they're still releasing stuff to Update 6, and they're going to continue releasing smaller patches with updates to Update 6 early access upon its release. Probably expect it to come to the experimental branch first though. But what changes can you expect when Update 6 comes to early access? Well, on top of the features that we've already talked about and what has been spoken about in previous videos, we've now got an added change to the world skybox. I must admit, I love the look of the clouds, but also the stars, the night sky look fantastic. Even the moons and the planets. In the same update, we also received a little quality of life change, which now allows us to change the color of these pipeline supports, as well as the extractors, which before were bugged. There's also new ramp materials, so if we go to foundations as before, we had access to all of these, and unfortunately, unlike the rest of the foundations, they weren't able to change their material. However, that has now changed. We can change these to concrete, asphalt, even coated foundations. In the Awesome Shop, we also received changes to various other items, such as clean pipelines. This allows us to place pipelines without indicators on them. And there are even new foundation materials, which we'll be talking about shortly. Even the Explorer received a little update where they made it so that we now have a single seat in the front rather than 2. So I'm sorry, we're not going to be able to drive with our friends in the same vehicle. And they've even added lights to trains, which just makes them look so good. And though I'm about to show you some of the new blocks, they've actually planned more stuff, which we'll be talking about shortly. Also, is it just me, or have various items changed slightly? I think I may have missed this, but if we look at the splitters, definitely look different to me. Here we have the current pipes. However, they've also added in, I don't think you can, there we go, pipes which do not have the indicators on them, and same for the Mark II as well. as you can see there. On top of this, we've got new foundations, including these half foundations and the outer corners of the quarter pipe, as well as the inner corners. This still feels like they're missing some types of foundations when it comes to these corners though. For example, it's great having these three, but when we have something like this, we can obviously add these to them. It's going to take us a little bit of getting used to. We need to do it like this. But once we place one of these on top, oh goodness me, it's a bit finicky, isn't it? Anyway, you get the point. Once we've added one of these on top, it definitely feels like we should have a wider brimmed one of these, rather than be restricted to just these smaller ones. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get that in the near future, though that does look pretty cool, I must admit. I'm going to very much enjoy playing around with these. Another thing that they've added, and it's something that's not mentioned in stream, was corner roof sections. Now I don't believe it's not meant the roof, but in fact meant these tilted walls. So we have the tilted concave wall, which could work quite well with those pieces of roof. And obviously we have these two as of before. But we also have a much steeper version. They may need a little bit of work. Can't see that from the other side, but you can from the inside. Yeah, they may need a little bit of work. And it also surprises me that we've got these, because I feel that we should have a flat one as well. Similar to what we have with these down ramps, we have the access to these up corners. And I would have thought that we'd have a similar style to this down corner ramp here. Still pretty cool, but I love that they're adding new buildables. And I'm sure they're going to be adding more, which I really can't wait to play around with. As for future updates to Update 6, Snut did mention that they are planning to add more variations to the creatures that we currently have, which means either the fluffy tail hog or possibly, dare I say it, the spy! Oh, goodness me. Or even the spiders may receive... Oh my god, I can't deal with this. Or even the spiders may... And Snut even mentioned that they're planning on releasing another creature. Now, they mentioned this a while back, but they're still working on it and will release this slightly later once Update 6 has gone to early access. But guys, do let me know what you think we'll be receiving in Update 6 later down the line. What creatures you think they'll add, what variations, and more importantly, what buildables, or if there's anything else that you think they'll give to us prior to the next update. And now knowing that they plan to release 1.0 in 2022, do you think that means that they're going to be releasing the game fully out of early access in 2023? I think so. I think in time for their anniversary. But who knows? Special thanks does go to all of our amazing supporters, most notably our Soloclipse patrons, Cerebral Tag, James Owen and Firefless, as well as our Lunars, The Calamity, Dixie Chris and Ben, and our Blood Moon of the day, which today is Dashlom. Until next time, as always, ciao for now.